What's going on, everyone? So, based on kind of the word going around right now, and it seems to kind of have stemmed from Jake Weinbach, who proposed the idea of a Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish, along with a first-round pick for Jerami Grant. But that kind of seems to be the type of package that is more likely than not going to yield a Jerami Grant return, because based on reports, the Portland Trailblazers do not want D'Angelo Russell, which, on the surface, you could kind of look at it and go, like, why wouldn't they want the expiring contract? Like, why would they want Gabe Vincent as opposed to, like, D'Lo, who's expiring? And to me, it makes sense because it's like D'Lo, you would have to start. He's going to want to start. And then if you do bring him off the bench, he's probably not going to take that well. He's probably not going to be very happy about that. So now you kind of have this just like awkwardness, or you got to look to try to trade him. Where if you bring in Gabe Vincent, he's a guy that could slot in. He's got some veteran leadership for a nice young core. He also could be a trade piece later on down the road. His contract isn't terrible. Plus, if he kind of gets back into the swing of things that we saw in Miami, maybe now he'd have some more significant value, so they could look to maybe flip him at some point or even next year when he's expiring. So I kind of get that. Kind of understand that, and then Rui kind of slots in either in a starting role or a backup role for them, and then they get the first. Problem is will the Portland Trailblazers kind of relent on the two first? As of right now, that doesn't seem to be the case, but as you get closer to training camp, Portland's a team that wants to tank. They want the young guys, right? They just made the trade, the Washington Wizards, to get Denny and, or Denny, or however you pronounce his name, right? Like, they went and got him. He's supposed to be slotted as their three, right? You really want to bring in Jerami Grant, and now you're either A, adding Chris Murray to the bench, or you're bringing him in, or it's just, you kind of have this log jam in that regard, and you're kind of taking away shots, minutes, and opportunity from the young guys. So maybe they kind of go, we prefer not to have them. Okay, fine, let's take the first if there's nothing else brewing, right? Again, a lot of time between now and training camp, so we'll see how that all unfolds. Now, I am a little kind of skeptical in regards to it being Rui, Gabe Vincent, and Cam Reddish, particularly for one first, because they are like the two positions that they are like most stacked at are the guard position and the center position right now. And we heard a while ago that the Portland Trailblazers wanted Rui Hachimura and Jared Vanderbilt, that they wanted something like that. So, like a Rui, Vando, and Cam Reddish plus a first for a Jerami Grant. I've talked about this before. I'm not like, I want to keep Jared Vanderbilt badly. Like, I do. I just think he's so valuable, especially on the defense side of things. I think he is a guy, especially if you get a Jerami Grant, would be nice at times to just, even if he's not great and doesn't have the significant increase on the offensive side of things, I just think to, even in a limited role as a specialty player, where you're kind of just throwing him out there and just like, hey, we're giving you like 10 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game, and your only job is to stop him. And he can just kind of focus all of his energy and effort. But also, Jared Vanderbilt is still rehabbing that foot injury, and it's just, he's had injury issues in the past, so there's a lot of questions of like, do the Lakers just kind of look at it and go, okay, like, do we want to run the risk with him when we can get Jerami Grant, and then now we have Gabe Vincent, D'Angelo Russell, which would give us another like $30 million in salary that we could package together to then go get another piece or two. I don't hate the idea of getting Jared Vanderbilt or trading Jared Vanderbilt if the outcome, when all is said and done, is better, right? So like, let's say, just hypothetically speaking, let's say you get Jerami Grant for Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish, and a first. Then can you flip, like if they flipped, say, D'Lo and Gabe Vincent along with another first and ended up landing, say, let's say the Brooklyn Nets. Let's say you could bring back Dennis Schroeder because you need somebody to replace D'Angelo Russell. Let's say you could bring back Dennis Schroeder and you could bring back like a Cam Johnson. And now you got like Dennis Schroeder, Cam Johnson, and Jerami Grant for, basically D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, Rui, and Jared Vanderbilt. Okay, now you got basically your two complementary wings. You got that point of attack guard, right? Or if you could go get, say I don't know. I don't think that they were relinquished Suggs, but I do think maybe like a Cole Anthony. Like, could you get maybe an Anthony and a, like a Wendell Carter Jr., something like that. Like, if when all is said and done, if it's like, okay, this is a clear upgraded roster, then fine. I'm okay with it. But look, Jerami Grant is essentially Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura married together to create Jared Vanderbilt. Right? Jared Vanderbilt's better defensively than Rui. He's better offensively than Jared Vanderbilt. And he brings a legit two-way guy. He would immediately be the third best player on the roster. Right? Gives you that versatility out on the perimeter as a wing. I don't believe he's worth 2 firsts. I also think he's slightly overpaid. Not by like a huge margin, but enough to matter. Right? Like he should probably be in that like $25 million range. Right? So you're talking an extra $5+ million as his contract kind of increases and moves on. Luckily, the salary cap will continue to increase, not this year, but the following year. Every year it'll start picking up because of the new TV deals. So his contract will be more manageable, be more reasonable, but still, he's still overpaid. So to me, it's kind of like I would prefer to keep Jared Vanderbilt. In a perfect world, you could do something like that. Or if you're going to trade Jared Vanderbilt, I would want something that makes more sense, right? Again, if you say you get a Jerami Grant, if you're turning Jared Vanderbilt and like D'Lo into, like I said, a Wendell Carter Jr. or whatever. But that's why I'm more concerned with the end result, right? Like, I want to keep Jared Vanderbilt. If you can do a deal and do that and then turn D'Lo into, like a Wendell Carter Jr. and something else, perfect. But if you do, like, let's say, I don't care how you get to the end of the road. If that makes sense, right? Like, I don't care if you go Rui Vando for Jerami Grant and then D'Lo, Gabe Vincent for 2 other pieces, right? I'm not like, I don't care how you get there as long as you get there. But if like you trade Rui, Jared Vanderbilt for Jerami Grant and that's basically it, that's all you do, at that now I'm kind of like, okay, like I'm not very happy with that, right? I would rather try to work something out to where they're taking a Gabe Vincent. Here you go, here's Gabe, here's Rui, here's Cam Reddish, here's a first, right? Maybe you meet in the middle and it's like a pick swap or something. Because I look at Jared Vanderbilt as just such a big piece and factor, and that specialty player that even though he has his a very glaring weakness, is still just so good defensively. He outweighs the lack of offense, and you can put him in scenarios and sets and actions to really kind of get him to be somewhat serviceable on the offense. I mean, even Darvin Ham was able to figure that out, right? Before he got hurt again, he was giving you like double-digit scoring every game. And his impact on the rebounding side, like there's a lot that Jared Vanderbilt brings to the table, and Jared Vanderbilt does impact the offense. Not in the sense of like he's this knockdown shooter, but in just generating turnovers, live ball turnovers, getting rebounds, offensive rebounds. Like all of those things lead to more possessions, which lead to more opportunity for the Lakers, which lead to more points. So he does impact both sides of the basketball, just not in the traditional sense of like, oh, he's a guy that's just crossing dudes up, getting to the basket, or shooting over the top, or knocking down the 3-ball or whatever, right? But he still has that impact on that side. And then again, just as like that focused guy that you can just plug in and just go, hey, you see Luka? I need you to stop him for 10 minutes, right? Like that kind of thing. There is also an argument to be made, like if you were to do a package with Rui and Jared Vanderbilt, okay, because you have Dalton Connect now, right? So essentially, assuming no other trades happen, right? Let's say it's just Jerami Grant, which, again, I hope it's more. But say, just for argument's sake, say it's just that. You're talking D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, right? Because trading Rui and Vando. So D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino as like your third guard. Then you'd have Austin Reeves, Max Christie. Then you'd have Jerami Grant, Dalton Connect. And then you have LeBron James, Christian Wood. And then you have Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes, which I still want another center. So, again, I don't hate that. But I would, if you're going to trade Jared Vanderbilt, I'd like at least at some point another 3-and-D guy. Or again, like a serviceable center, like a Wendell Carter Jr., or maybe you get a Walker Kessler or something down the road to where, okay, you can slot in to kind of justify the loss of Jared Vanderbilt. But if you, and again, in a perfect world, it's Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Cam Reddish, and you're going and getting Jerami Grant. Boom, you got that deal done. And then you still have D'Lo and Jared Vanderbilt if you need to for another type of trade. Because, again, Lakers aren't going to trade Austin Reeves unless it's for another star, right? But if that star does become available, right, you could, if you wanted to. Now you got D'Lo, Reeves, which is, what, $30 million. So you basically got 40, you could get to like $43 million, somewhere in that ballpark, for a potential another star, right? If you do those three guys and then another like vet minimum, but you'd have to clear an extra, so it'd be probably closer to like 40 million because you got to still round out a roster and do all that other stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the package of like a Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish plus a first for Jerami Grant? Do you think no? Right? Like keep Gabe Vincent, D'Angelo Russell, trade Vando for Jerami Grant and then go get something else? Are you kind of like me where it's like, as long as the end result kind of justifies it, you're fine? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.